everyone, it's Kristen. Welcome to this new episode of How to Win This Week, an explicitly pro-life podcast. As you know, these How to Win This Week episodes are short and to the point, very much like me, short and to the point. But they're about what's going on in our culture right now. The news, how do we as pro-lifers need to be thinking about what's going on in the news, making sure you are aware of some of the latest news that I think is very relevant to us. And there was a recent kind of blog kind of hit all over Facebook. It was an interview that Rebecca Kiesling, many of you all know her. She was conceived out of sexual assault. She has a Save the One ministry, which advocates, against saying, oh yes, we're against abortion except in cases of rape. And she's a great speaker. She was doing an interview in Michigan on live TV. And on live TV, her opponent in the interview debate said that she was having an abortion live on TV, meaning she opened up chemical abortion pills and took the first pill on live TV. And it was so interesting because they were saying, I'm having an abortion on live TV. It's an abortion on live TV. No. The real abortion is going to take place in that young woman's bathroom in a few days when the bleeding and the cramping begin and when her child is expelled from her body into her toilet. That's really, if the TV camera wants to be accurate about where abortion's happening, it's going to be in her bathroom of her apartment, of her home. If any of you all have seen the Unplanned movie about Abby Johnson's conversion to the pro-life movement, that to me, that scene of Abby actually having her second abortion, a chemical abortion, is the most profound point in that whole movie for me. I felt like it was something that needed to be seen by every American, because this is the reality of chemical abortion, what you didn't see at that TV interview when the girl just popped a pill and drank it with a glass of water. We saw this at the Supreme Court not long ago, where activists, I think it was during the Dobbs decision day here, Dobbs hearing day on December 1st, where activists said that they were taking the abortion. We don't know if they were actually taking the abortion pill, RU46, beginning of the cocktail, but they said that they were. The goal of this is to make chemical abortion seem as easy as taking a pill. That's commonplace. This is what the abortion industry wants, because they are an industry that makes money. The reality is chemical abortion is not easy. One, it's not cheap. They act like it's just like a simple pill you get. This is an expensive chemical cocktail, multiple pills. This is very painful, and this causes trauma and danger to women. Not only does it end the life of a human child, of a precious child created in the image of God, but it gives women enduring trauma. In fact, I was speaking with Lisa Rowe from Support After Abortion just the other day, and she mentioned, we were talking about post-Roe America, what's coming, and what we believe is going to be an epidemic of women and men in need of post-abortive healing when the Supreme Court no longer says abortion should be legal throughout the land and usurp the laws of the states, because so many people derive morality from legality. So they had an abortion, kind of felt icky about abortion, but did it anyway because it was illegal. And then all of a sudden, when it's not legal anymore, they're going to have to rectify those feelings that they've had. And one of the things Lisa and I were talking about was this epidemic of chemical abortions. And their estimation at Support After Abortion, they think in the next year, 70% of all abortions will be chemical abortion. We already know it's about 45%, almost half, from the latest data we have from the Guttmacher Institute, which, we have no national abortion reporting law. I've talked about that before, and that's a major problem. We have to use the abortion industry's own data to try to figure out what's actually going on, but that's significant. But she said, something that's impactful for me was that she relives the trauma of the abortion every day, where if a woman seeks a surgical abortion, she might pass it occasionally, or she might remember that's straight, but she's going to go in her bathroom to brush her teeth every single day and remember that abortion. That's really where the TV camera should have been. So let's just talk about chemical abortion and how it actually kills a child and what the side effects are of chemical abortion are. This is information you need to memorize, because I can't tell you how many times, I mean, literally every single time I've had a conversation about chemical abortion in midst of a Christian crowd of pro-life believers in the past 6 months, every time I talk about abortion, I always now bring up chemical abortion because that is the abortion industry's post-Roe strategy. I've mentioned that multiple times. They've already enacted their post-Roe strategy. We're talking about ours. They've enacted it. But every single time I have this conversation, people will come up to me afterwards and say, isn't that just like Plan B? Isn't that Plan B? No, chemical abortion is not Plan B. We, the pro-life movement, need to educate ourselves and those who support the pro-life movement, who understand that abortion is a violent, cruel ending of a unique human life. We need to educate ourselves about what chemical abortion is. This is a 2-drug cocktail. The first pill that is taken cuts the production of a hormone that feeds the child. So it starves the child. And then the second pill forces the child to be violently expelled from the mother through induced contractions. That is why this pill is extremely painful. In fact, you can go on to pregnancy forums, not pro-life forums by any stretch of the imagination, and women will openly talk about how painful and how unaware they were of these chemical abortions when they took them. In fact, if you go to thisischemicalabortion.com, Students for Life produced a docu-series last year with our friends at Harpy International with doctors, with women who've taken the drug, about how deadly and painful this drug is, not only for children, but for women. We actually compiled a book. It's about 70 pages just of women who went to public forums, chat rooms about pregnancy, and were reporting how painful and how bad their chemical abortion experience was. And some of these women in their comments even say, I don't regret my abortion. I'm glad I had my abortion. I'm still pro-choice, but I tell everybody I know, every woman I know, never to have a chemical abortion. So we actually compiled all these comments that we had found, not even searching for them, put them into about a 70-page PDF document. You can download it for free on thisischemicalabortion.com. And you need to have it handy when you walk into, your state legislator's office and tell them to pass the chemical abortion ban or the chemical abortion online ban that Students for Life Action's trying to get them to pass in their state house. So use that. But so I told you how it works, these 2 pills, this chemical cocktail. But let's talk a little bit about the side effects. So major side effects, I've got a list here. Pain that is very severe. Heavy or prolonged bleeding for weeks. Abby Johnson talks about bleeding for months after her chemical abortion. Fever, infection, incomplete abortion, about 15%. Think about this from a money-making standpoint. The abortion industry sells her chemical abortion, tells her it's easier for her. They make money because they don't really have to pay anybody to do anything. They don't have to pay for the disposal of the child. They don't have to pay the nurses. They don't have to pay for anything. So they charge her hundreds of dollars, $400 to $600 for a chemical abortion pill. And then 15% of those chemical abortions are incomplete abortions that then she has to go back and have a surgical abortion, which they charge her for. This is why they love chemical abortion. Nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, feeling dizzy, headaches, long-lasting hot flashes, hemorrhaging, which is lots of blood loss, rapid amounts of blood loss, which is very dangerous because we don't know, a lot of us don't know what's the difference between heavy bleeding versus hemorrhaging. Like I've felt sometimes, certainly in my life, with a very painful period history, that I was hemorrhaging. Like there was how is this possible? Blood clots, undetected ectopic pregnancy, permanent infertility. So this is what we've been talking a lot about in the pro-life movement, with the Biden administration dropping all common sense regulations, REMS, risk evaluation mitigation strategies, this December with the FDA. Now a woman doesn't even need to have a blood test to make sure she's not Rh negative before she is given and ingests these pills, or an ultrasound. This is extremely dangerous for women because if a woman is having an ectopic pregnancy, the child is lodged into the fallopian tube. She takes these pills, her fallopian tube can rupture, she can bleed internally and die. This is why you have to confirm the location of the child before you have an abortion. A blood test for whether or not she's Rh negative. If she is Rh negative, which about 15% of the population is, if she's Rh negative and she is not administered a RhoGAM shot before or immediately after the abortion, which she's not because these are no-test abortions. She's not getting a blood test. She's not seeing anybody. Now, this is what Planned Parenthood's been lobbying for, what the FDA has given them because they've bought and paid for the Biden administration. Now, if she's Rh negative, it could potentially lead to infertility for the rest of her life, meaning she'll be able to get pregnant but not able to carry to term. So late miscarriages, painful miscarriages of her children. We always see these Hollywood starlets talk about their abortion, how they shout their abortion, proud of their abortion, and then a few years later, they'll be talking about their struggle with infertility. Coincidence? I think not. In one study, 1,000 women who attempted chemical abortion were surveyed for outcomes. The results were very concerning in this survey. 7 of the 1,000 reported needing blood transfusions after their chemical abortion because of the loss of blood was so severe. 26 reported needing antibiotics for infection. For 50 women, the drugs failed and surgical abortion was needed. 93 out of these 1,000 women reported experiencing any symptom which they were advised to seek medical care. 87 of the 93 actually sought attention. The Charlotte Lozier Institute, our good friends at Charlotte Lozier Institute, released a shocking study this past November showing that emergency room visits relating to an abortion following a chemical abortion increased 500% from 2002 to 2015, according to Medicaid claims data. This is government data. Over the same period, chemical abortions in that population increased from 4.4% to 34.1%. So there you go. This is a dangerous, dangerous drug. This is not simple. Do not let the abortion lobby win and, go on live TV and say, oh, this is where we're having abortion right now. No. The abortion's going to be in her bathroom a few days later. That's where, if you really want to film a live abortion on TV, that's where the TV cameras should go. So thanks for tuning in this week. Hope this helps your discussions. Make sure you're subscribing to the Explicitly Pro-Life Podcast.